kind of do this with me and then just check. So f of x equals x cubed plus 8. And find the inverse, right? So I'm going to swap x and y, solve for y. So you all can do it with me and then just check, or you can follow along as I do it. So we've got this so far, and I'm just going to solve for y. I'm going to minus 8 on both sides. X minus 8 equals y cubed. Does anybody know how to get rid of this? Y cubed here? How do I get rid of this y cubed, Ariana? Cubed square root. What's the proper math term for this? You want? The cube root. You take the cube root of both sides. So the cube root of x minus 8 equals y. We don't leave it like this. We'll write that the cube root of x minus 8 equals f inverse of x. All right, so like this is the answer number 2 on the homework. You don't have to turn it in, right? Because I just did it. But here is the next step. We could give you two functions and ask you, are they inverses? There's a nice way to prove this. Any two functions that are inverses must satisfy this. So if f of x, you're going to want to write this down, and g of x, the plus just, and g of x are inverses, then f of g of x equals g of f of x, which both of them equal x. I'll do an example that'll make this very clear. So if f of x and g of x, so if two functions, if they are inverses, then f of g of x equals g of f of x, and both of those just equal x. And let me do an example that'll make this extremely clear. So here I have this function right here. And I'm predicting that these two orange boxes are inverses. So let's check if they meet this rule. So I want to find f of g of x. So here's f of x. We can call this one g of x. So I want f of g of x, which means take g of x and put it in f of x. So I'm going to take this and put it right there. So f of g of x equals, instead of x cubed, it is this whole thing cubed plus 8. Just like if I had said, what is f of g of 3? Everybody got this right on the quiz. You put 3 in for g of x, solve this out, plug that in there, solve that out. Again, take the basic logic, make it more complicated. Let's solve this out. F of g of x equals this. So f of g of x. This cube root and the cubed go away. So I have x minus 8 plus 8, which just equals x. That's exactly what we wanted. Because we wanted f of g of x to equal x. Matthew.
Wouldn't it be plus 8 for it?
But this negative 8 here?
Isn't like f of x? No.
But the plus 8 is here.
I get you.
So, okay. Bless you. Now we need to check the other side. We now need to check g of f of x. We did f of g of x. Now we want to do g of f of x. So I want to take this and bring it here. So I want to take this x cubed plus 8 and bring it here. So it's going to be the cube root of not x, but x cubed plus 8 minus 8. So this will be the cube root. 8 minus 8 is 0. So the cube root of x cubed is absolutely x. So what did we see? We saw that f, even one second, we'll say f of g of x is x, g of f of x is x. Therefore, they both satisfy this rule. Therefore, f of x and g of x are inverses. Dulce.
Wait, what did you do for the second part?
So I took this x cubed plus 8 and brought it here for x because I'm doing g of f. So I just called this g of x. So I did g of f of x. So that means take f of x, bring it inside here. If I said what is g of f of 3, wouldn't you have just put 3 here, gotten the answer, and then bring it here? So now I'm saying what is g of f of x? Well, f of x is just this. So I'm saying take this and put it here. So I have x cubed plus 8, that was this, minus 8. 8's go away. Cube root of x cubed is just x. 1.
Is there, in the last part of the right there, is it a cube root? Over
Yes. Cube root and then a cubed x inside. Questions? Kayla. Can I do number 3? I need to teach one more thing first. Right? Okay, so like the point is like not for me to like do all the hard problems in class. Like that defeats the purpose of homework. The purpose is for me to model and then you do the next thing. Questions on this? Cool. So let's make one change on the homework. Let's just on this problem right here. On that problem right there. Go ahead and rewrite g of x as x minus 5 over 2. Go ahead and rewrite g of x as x minus 5 over 2. Okay. All right. Let me stop here and do one last thing, and then we are literally done. Anybody still need to see this? No. All right, and so here is the final thing. So I gave you, this is not on here, this is on the homework from, that you'll pick up on Monday, but I'll just do it now. So imagine I give you a data table, x f of x. And I have some points here, 3, 8, negative 2, 10, 0, 5. Here's the question we're asking, and you all can brainstorm for 1 minute to figure out how we do this. So the question says, write an equation for f inverse of x. Think for 1 minute. How would I write an equation for f inverse of x? This is all I'm given. 3 data points on f of x, and I need an equation for f inverse of x. I can I confirm? Yeah, I can tell you it's a linear function. Yeah. You can assume it's linear, yes. How would I do this? How would I do this? There are 2 ways to do this. Melissa?
Won't you like find the slope and then use a coordinate like 8, 30?
Okay. You mean 3, 8? Okay, so let's like flesh that out a little more. So I would get the slope of some points here, and then I would use what equation?
For the slope?
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
So no, but just like so, the process you're saying is find the slope, And then what was the next thing you said?
And then use the coordinate that must be on the inverse of the x.
So I find the slope of this like using like y2 minus y1 over x2. So find the slope. Why don't I say find the slope of f of x maybe? And then you're saying what?
Never mind.
This is certainly like one path to go down. This is not wrong. Matthew Resendez, you want to pick up here or you have a different way?
I can see it like both ways.
Oh, you can see both ways. Okay, so you want to pick up here?
Yeah, so like you find the slope of that, and then you just solve for, you just find the inverse by switching x to y, and then you solve from there.
So I've got the slope. What do I do after the slope? Okay, so let me actually calculate the slope. Let's make our life easier. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So here's y2 is 8. Here's y1 is 10. So y2, y1, x2, x1. So 8 minus 10 and 3 minus negative 2. 8 minus 10 is negative 2. All right, so negative 2 over 5.
Okay, so
What do you want me to do next?
then you put that in front of a parentheses, and then you put x, and then you select an x value. So like, subtract 3
Okay,
plus 8,
okay.
and then I would simplify it.
You would say equals something, right?
F of x. Oh yeah, f of x.
Ah, so step 2 was, can somebody in words tell us what he actually did here in a step 2, Carlos? Ah, he used the point slope equation to get an equation of f of x. And what is step 3 in words, Matthew?
So I would first like simplify it a little bit further.
Got it? Okay, you would simplify?
Then you turn f of x into y, and then you switch y with x.
Yes. So we see one way of doing it is find the slope, use point slope form to write an equation for f of x, and then it just becomes like this problem. Find the inverse. Juan?
Couldn't you just switch the x and y at the beginning and just do the formula like that?
Yes, was it the other way, Matthew? Yeah, so the other way to do it is, let's just switch these x's and y's. So make a new data table, and the new data table would be x f inverse of x, and instead of 3, 8, it would be 8, 3. Instead of negative 2, 10, it would be 10, negative 2. Instead of 0, 5, it'll be 5, 0. And then, do what one? So step 1 over here was to switch x and y. Step 2, 1?
Wouldn't you have to find the new slope?
Okay.
It's different.
Got it. So find the slope of f inverse of x. And then the last one.
Plug it in.
For which equation?
The point slope.
Right. Plug into point slope form. And here it is. Find the inverse. Last year, I only taught it this way until some student told me about this way. I did not know this. I did not see this.
That's what I was trying to.
This is what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Except you forgot to say switch the x and y. Yes. This is much easier. Who was the student who pointed out to me? Javier Ventura. All right, that's all I have. So we can go ahead and stop the recording, Sergio, please. And you have the last 6 minutes to work on homework. Carlos?